this training program, we've talked through the different steps we need to take to create a culture that's truly inclusive, where there's respect for differences of all kinds and where people feel like they belong. In the ideal workplace, we talked about the importance of seeing people as individuals. This is a theme we return to through the rest of the program. We said that traditional forms of diversity matter, and that other differences matter too. In thinking about individuality, we discussed how we think about who we are, the variation that exists, and the importance of recognizing it. We emphasized the importance of seeing that each of us speaks for ourselves and not for the groups we belong to. In Snap Judgments and Bias, we talked about being aware of our tendency to jump to conclusions about other people without full information. And we talked about our focus on problematic behaviors rather than on unconscious bias. Politics in the workplace focused on the implications of bringing our whole selves to work. One of those implications is that we bring our moral and our political convictions, which means we have to figure out how to get along in this unfamiliar and sometimes uncomfortable environment. In the role of social penalties, we talked about how social penalties serve as guardrails for how we engage with one another. In some of the ways we vary, we thought together through the challenges of trying to avoid offending people. We talked about the fact that it's impossible to know what someone's sensitivity level is and how much this varies across individuals. This makes open communication more essential than ever. In competing explanations, we worked through the very real problem of what to do when there is more than one possible explanation for a person's expression or behavior. This is particularly challenging when one of the explanations is racial or another form of animus. We said that given our goal of open communication, in the absence of other information, we must assume good intent. In the module on hiring, we talked through some of the complicated questions that come up when trying to diversify the workforce. Finally, in rules of engagement, we reflected upon several core principles, including our focus on the individual and the importance of trying to reduce the extent to which we make judgments, good or bad, based on perceived group characteristics. The upshot is that the path to the culture we're building passes straight through open communication. A truly inclusive workplace is the goal. After all, in an environment where every employee feels seen and heard, communication and innovation can thrive.